Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So today we're going to talk about unflooding your chainsaw. This is going to work with most saws, even if you got a different brand. There's just a few things to keep in mind if you're going to do this process. If you're having troubles or you know your saw is flooded out, hopefully this video will help you out. Be sure to give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, hit the bell, hit all, so you don't miss future uploads, and also comment below if this helps you out. How to unflood your saw. Now, I see a lot of people having issues with the MS250 flooding out. So that's what I'm going to start with. I run steel, so that's, mostly what I'm able to talk about, but the process will still work with a lot of different saws, and hopefully it'll help you. Now, the saw floods, it's getting too much fuel, and it just hasn't ignited. A lot of times it's because you've pulled the saw over too many times on full choke, and now it just won't start. So what do? Well, as far as the MS250 goes, you got to get in here, remove your air filter, pop the spark plug wire off, and you're going to have to remove the spark plug. Now, this is pretty much the same process. Ooh, that's in there tight today. That's pretty much the same process for any saw. You're going to have to get in there and do that. Whether you got to remove the air filter or not will probably depend on the saw. But you get in here, you remove your spark plug. Okay? This unit isn't flooded, but we'll still go through the process. So once that's all done, with this saw, it has an actual off position. So we want to turn the saw completely off. Now, with it completely off, it's not supposed to generate a spark. But keep in mind, there's tons of fuel in the top end of your cylinder on top of that piston. So if there were a spark to happen, you could get a flame out of here. But one way to do this, face the saw away from you, pull. Anywhere from 4 to 6 times. If you watch when you do it and it's flooded, you'll see a lot of misting gasoline coming out of here. Once you're done with that, you could always let the saw sit for, just a couple minutes. A lot of that will evaporate. Go ahead, put your spark plug back in, and you put everything back together. Now you'd say, okay, so it's all back together. Now how do I start the saw? Well, when it comes down to, geez, spark plug doesn't want to go back in here today. When it comes down to at least with the 250, and I've found with quite a few steels, they're all very similar. If the saw hasn't been running, right, that's why you're full choking it, giving it full choke. Alright, so do your full assembly, right, spark plug in, put your spark plug wire back on, put your filters on, get your caps all back assembled on your saw. Again, this process will work on most units, most brands. There is something we need to discuss though about newer units, so stick around for that too. Now, we haven't ran it, we've flooded it, hopefully we just got all the fuel out of the piston area, cylinder area, right? So now we're going to go to full choke, 2 pulls, right? Now you should be able to go to half choke. I know, it's called low idle, high idle. Half choke, though, is what most people are able to reference it to. And you should be running. So there's the 250. And again, that'll work for most saws. Now, you want to make sure your saw has that off position where the 250 does. We push the lever all the way up, it's off, it stays there. That's on, running, off, running. Got to do it manually, right? So in the off position, hopefully we don't generate the spark and have it go woof, right, when we do that. Now, something to keep in mind if you were to flood a newer saw, right, 162, 172, 182, I think even the 212s, the thing with these is the on position for the saw, it's always on. So this kills the saw, shuts it off, and you let go, it goes right back to the on position. Hopefully you guys are able to see what I'm showing you. It automatically goes to run or on. So what that means is it's going to generate, or it's throwing power to the spark plug wire. So even if you undo the wire, you pull your plug out, you know it's flooded, and you pull that wire is off, there's always that potential for it to create a spark. So when you go do this process and the plug's out, that wire is still there and it's hot. It's generating power when you pull. Okay, so what could you do with a newer saw if you believe you flooded it out? Pull the cover off, pull your filter off if it's in the way, pull your spark plug out, set it all aside. This could be anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. Just let it sit, dust-free area. You don't want dust or dirt or anything getting in there because you can ruin your saw. Let it sit, let it evaporate. Put your spark plug in, put it all back together, go down to full choke, pull it 1 to 2 times, go to half choke, 1 to 2, sometimes 3, the saw should start up. You should be ready to go. So these processes will be able to work on other brands and other units as well for the most part. It's pretty much just removing that spark plug and getting that excess fuel out of the top of the piston, the top of that piston cylinder area. You're good to go. So hopefully the video's helped you guys out. Be sure to give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, leave a comment, let me know if this has helped you with your saw. Appreciate you guys watching, and have an awesome day. I'll see you later.